Hey, I'm Giga, and this is episode 9 of the Life in Lockdown Challenge. And today, we're tackling the topic of traveling while our life is unlocked. But first, let me do the usual plug. If you haven't watched the first 8 episodes, go check them out and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. This episode is all about traveling, and so I decided to paint this picture that my brother took from our last big travel together, which was back in 2019 already? Yeah, end of 2019. I was in San Francisco working at the time, and he came to visit. We hopped in my van and road tripped across the west coast of the United States for a few weeks, hitting a bunch of national parks and a bunch of other super cool places. Oh, and let me do another little plug. If you're into travel videos, my brother vlogged the whole thing. There's, I think, 12 episodes overall, following the whole trip from Santa Cruz down to LA, to Joshua, Grand Canyon, Yosemite, all the way back to San Francisco, and a lot of other incredible places. And the videos came out awesome, the trip was incredible, and because everything about it was so nice, I decided to paint part of it. And let me tell you a little bit more specifically about this particular picture. It was the third day of our trip. We had just woken up in Carmel by the Sea, which is this very picturesque town, super pretty, and we were going to go down the Pacific Coastal Highway. And between Carmel and Los Angeles, there's this part that's called Big Sur. If you have never heard of it, just Google some pictures of it. It's incredible. It has the most incredible views, one of the prettiest drives anywhere in the world, really. At least the ones that I've done, which are not a lot, but it's incredible. Just believe me on that part. So we enjoyed our day, doing some sightseeing, some hiking. We went to the beach, and before the sunset, we went to this place I know for car camping. You drive up the cliffs on the side of Big Sur for like 30 or 40 minutes on this windy road that eventually turns into dirt road, and you end up on this ridge on top of Big Sur, overlooking the ocean and all of the other ridges to the left and to the right. It's breathtaking. So we parked there, we made some food, then we just chilled with some music, watching the sunset. Another van showed up with a couple cool dudes making s'mores and playing guitar, and there we were, just sitting on top of our vans, watching the sunset, playing guitar, and yeah, it was a pretty epic night. And I'm not entirely sure how to segue this, but on the lockdown sports video I mentioned that I would say why surfing in Costa Rica after rainfall is terrifying, so let's talk about that. And let me start this story by saying that I'm not a surfer. But yeah, also back in 2019, when I was still working remotely, I decided to go for a few months to Costa Rica and just work from there. So I started in the city, where the airport is, and I eventually made my way to the coast, which, FYI, is where you should be when you're in Costa Rica. So I went to Santa Teresa, got a surfboard, and started doing the whole thing, like going surfing every morning before work, or in the middle of the day if I needed a break. And so far, so good. It was incredible, until one day I was out on the outside past the break, just resting, because paddling out in Santa Teresa is a mission. And I'm there just waiting. It was really early morning, there was no one else on the lineup except one guy that was like maybe 100 meters down the beach, and something just hits me in the back. I shit my pants, or my board short I should say, and then I realized a fish had just jumped and landed on me. Either way, I was super freaked out and I went back to shore. So from this point on, I'm conscious that there are things under me when I'm surfing, which is not a good mindset to be in. So a few weeks pass, I moved between towns a little bit. I've only had one more scare when something gray came swimming by my board. I still don't know what it was to this day, but I kept going. And another piece of information that I guess is good for this story is Costa Rica has saltwater crocodiles, or crocodiles that generally chill in the river but sometimes decide to go out in the ocean when they're switching from one river mouth to the other. So people generally say, like, if you see a log in the ocean, just stay away from it. So on the way down to Dominical, I was driving with his friends, and we stopped by a bridge, and we looked down the bridge, and we just see like 15 crocodiles chilling in the river. Like massive dinosaurs just chilling. And then the part that was scary is like from one second to the other, they just disappear down into the brown river water. Insane. After seeing this, we continue down to the Minical, we settle in the hostel, starts raining a lot, cats and dogs, water, like those tropical rainstorms. So we just chill, we drink, we have fun at the hostel, and then I wake up in the morning and I decide, let's go surfing, it's not raining. I get my board, I go down to the beach, I get in the water, unaware of where I was, and I just start paddling. And with every stroke that I do, I grab like sticks and leaves, and it just feels nasty. So I sit on the board, I look around, and I notice that the water all around me is like super brown and full of everything that the rain just washed up into the ocean. So I pause for a second, and then I just get the hell out of there. After seeing those monsters not being able to see anything in the water was a little too scary for me. And yeah, with that scary thought, I'm just going to leave you with the rest of the painting process, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Darling, I know it's hard to let go. Soon I will hold you again. Longer days when I'm away, but we'll both pretend to be bold.